So this first video, it shows that there was no one around, no security or anyone to stop the incident from happening. The White Sox fan was getting assaulted by Houston Astros fans. If that one fan did not step in, then he probably would have got off a lot worse. And he ended up being kicked out of the game instead of the Astros fans that were attacking him, even though it was on video that beer was thrown in his face. But since he was in the opposition, they just assumed that he was the one who started the incident. Here's our second video. So this video shows the Guardians fan and the Yankees fan getting an altercation over something that's happening in the game. This is one of the playoff games during last year's season, Game 3 of the playoffs, and there was no security around, and they were also up in the bleachers, which makes this a serious safety hazard, as there's no one to catch the ball if he does fall over the railing. And here's our third video. So this video shows that the security was very delayed to get there, and all the alcohol that was in the video, you can see it being thrown around. The people serving the alcohol need to be trained better in seeing who's way too intoxicated to be drinking, and security attendants need to know who's too intoxicated to be at the game, because with that many drunk people, there's going to be an incident involved in the stands where it's not safe.
As all three videos have in common, there was little to no security that was there to prevent the fights from happening or to kind of stop the altercations between the fans from getting more out of hand than they already were. So as we'll mention later, the one thing that we can do to prevent or stop the altercation before getting way too out of hand would be to increase the security potentially. As seen in the last video that we showed, there's only one security guard there trying to stop the 4 to 5 to 6 people that are fighting in the stands. So that's a big problem, because that also ties into the safety of other fans who are around the area. As people are falling down the bleachers and people are getting thrown everywhere, there's a chance that one drunk fan who's getting in a fist fight might hit the wrong person, or might fall down the bleachers and then crash into a group of people, causing some serious injuries. One thing that not one thing we could do, but punishments for the fights would be a year-long ban between everyone involved in the party, just because, again, of the safety for other fans that are in attendance of the game, and for the safety of fans who are getting in the fight if they're causing these big of problems, whether they are heavily intoxicated, somewhat intoxicated, or maybe not even intoxicated at all. They still need that punishment just to show how severe the fight was and how it disrupted the whole game.
The group, we decided on a new rule. This would be in the upper levels of every stadium to have different sections based on home and away fans. We want each family and person there to be safe, and we feel that if home and away fans are separated, it will allow there to be less fights and everyone can be safer. Some benefits of the rule is obviously with the less fighting and yelling, people who are deterred from going to games because of the possibility of people yelling and giving their children the opportunity to be in an environment that could be a little bit frightening that they might not be ready for. We feel that we'll be able to do a whole different audience as a whole family could then come to a game, and we can have fans celebrating without fear. We don't want things to happen in the game that are really exciting for a certain team and their fans to be scared to get excited and to show their excitement as their fear of people around them being not on their side and seeing what possibly they could do. Some negative side effects is that when these people who are like different teams who want to go to a game together, they won't be allowed to sit near each other. If you come with your buddy and he's likes the rivalry, you won't be allowed to sit with him anymore. And we don't think there will be any more friendly rivalry between these different fans. Some fans like to just be with each other and enjoy sitting near people of the opposite team. They can kind of have like a friendly rivalry and talk about the game to each other. This won't be able to happen anymore, as it'll be in different sections. As a group, we feel that the fan experience should be enhanced and should improve, as there will be more positivity and safety. There will be no more any of these fights, whether they escalate into an actual physical fight or just people yelling at each other. Everyone should be able to be involved in the game and have a good time.
Philly's pitcher from the Baseball Isn't Boring podcast said the reason we stopped selling alcohol on the 7th before was to give our fans time to sober up and drive home safe, correct? So now with a faster paced game, if the game is going to finish quicker, would we not move the beer sales back to the 6th inning to give our fans more time to sober up and drive home? Instead, we're going to the 8th, and now you're putting our fans and our family at risk driving home with people who have just drank beers in 22 minutes ago. This could also cause more havoc late in tight games that have a lot of mixed emotions on the line, and which puts in perspective how much the MLB organizations care about how much time you have to drive home.